Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and welcome to another episode of my comic book corner. Yes, let's just get into it. Okay, so this episode of Comic Book Corner is another sort of comic collection update. My pickups for the week. I've been to the comic shop and grabbed what they had for me. As well as picking up a couple of other bits. So let's have a look through what items I've managed to pick up. And let's have a little talk about them. So first up, a new release is the Mandalorian, Star Wars The Mandalorian comic. I've been waiting for them to do a Mandalorian comic. I thought it's about time, you know, and when I saw it, when I saw it advertised, I thought it's about time, finally, a comic based upon The Mandalorian. Now, I don't read many Star Wars comics. I find sci-fi very hard to digest within the context of a comic book. However, that being said, I thought I'd give this a go because it's such a cool character. But lo and behold, I opened it up, I flicked through, and so I just kicked the table there. And you know, it's got some decent art in it. I won't say it hasn't, but it's actually an adaptation of the first episode. So basically what they're doing is they're adapting the TV series to comic. At which point I was like, when I noticed that, now I don't read much about comics. I just see, oh look, there's an Mandalorian comic coming up. I don't want to read about it. I think it's going to be brand new stories set with the Mandalorian, but it's not. So that's a bit disappointing, really. Nice cover, but a tad disappointing that it was that. Next up is Captain Carter, from Marvel's What If, the animated TV series. She's got her own mini-series, and thus I'm getting it. This is issue 4, a variant cover, and I have got the standard cover as well. I do like variant covers on comics. Don't always get them all, but I do get some. So, yeah, and I like the Captain America stuff in the MCU. I like the story. I like what they've done with Peggy Carter. I liked her when she was Peggy Carter. I like her now that she's Captain Carter. So getting this comic was a sort of no-brainer for me. So that's all good. Great stuff there. Then next up, we have a new issue, 30 Years of Image Comics. Prophet, issue 1. Prophet was an early comic from Image. A few months into their tenure, shall we say. And yes, and thusly I picked this up because I do have the earlier Prophet comics. Not all of them, but certainly some of them. But this is sort of done by a load of different artists. And yeah. Not a character you'd necessarily know. Then we have Batman the Knight. Now, I am sort of running cold on Batman at the moment, but I will see this series out. It is a mini-series, 10 issues, so I will see it out to the end. I'm not going to stop mid-collection, mid-story collection, so to speak, but, you know, I'll decrease on the amount of Batman for definite, because I'm having a fatigue issue with Batman at the moment. I don't get many Batmans anyway, I don't read that many. Then we have issue 2 of the new Fantastic Four. SpiderMan, Wolverine, Hulk, Ghost Rider. These lot teamed up and formed a version of the Fantastic Four years ago in the 90s. Oh look, there's Predator there. New Predator comic coming. Yes, and so it's that, you know, and yeah, it just sort of intrigued me again. I mean, I like Ghost Rider as a character. That's a variant cover version I've got there. I've got 2 of them again, variant covers. Human Torch there with Ghost Rider. Then we have the Walking Dead Deluxe with the Governor on the front. Now, again, Walking Dead Deluxe reprints all of the original black and white comics, but in colour. And what the comic book never done was when the Governor is taking the teeth out of zombies and then he proceeds to French kiss one of them. That didn't happen in the TV series, did it? No, it didn't. Next up, we have The Punisher, issue 4. The new Punisher with the new skull. He's like a ninja. He's not the Punisher. and it bloody bugs me. But the end of this comic, I know what's happening. So there was a spoiler online about a week ago, and I know what happens, and it does seem to be leading towards him coming back as the normal Punisher. But time will tell, because I've got this theory that Disney don't want to put guns into the hands of any hero now. We'll see what happens with that. Then we have Moon Knight, Black, White and Blood, which is a Moon Knight comic, all done in black, white and red, believe it or not. These are good because they're just sort of individual stories set outside the context of anything else or the narrative of anything else. Like this comic here, Moon Knight. Yes, it's set outside this, so you don't need to be aware of what's going on in the current run of Moon Knight. You can just read it without. And then we have an annual now, issue 1, Marvel's Alien comic book annual. Yeah, I think it's reached 12 issues now. You've got a new storyline starting, but this is an annual set. You can see the alien there. You know, Alien doing what Alien does. Yeah. Quite, the art's all right. It's not bad. It's not bad. Then we have issue 1, a new issue 1 of Daredevil. Now Marvel do like their issue 1s, because whenever they do an issue 1, sales go up. And I've bought an issue 1. There you go. Daredevil's a character I read from time to time. I haven't read him continuous. It depends on the writer who's writing the book. I used to read Daredevil quite a bit back in the day when it had very good writers on it, like Brian Michael Bendis, and who was it came after Bendis? I can't remember the name of him, but it was a very good time, and I was intrigued as to what's going on with Daredevil at the moment. Obviously, I didn't know it had the Punisher in it, but it's got the Punisher in it anyway, so a little bonus for me, being a big Punisher fan. But also, I'm intrigued with what they're doing with Elektra now that she's a sort of Daredevil herself. A lady Daredevil. So that's that. And then we have issue 12 of King Spawn. I'm into my Spawn stuff at the moment. I love Spawn. I love Todd McFarlane. It's a character that I read back in the day for about 100 issues, then went dead on for a long time. But there's been this resurgence in me lately with this character. I'm wanting to catch up on this character. So at the moment I'm reading King Spawn, Scorched and Gunslinger Spawn, and I'm back on to collecting the current Spawn series. But I'm going to fill in the gaps with the compendiums, the thick, like that carry 50 issues of Spawn in one hit. I should have a new one coming later this, well, in August actually. Say later this month, it's still July. But yeah, so I do like Spawn. It's a film that is ripe for a remake. It really is. And yeah, you know, this has been going for 30 years, this comic book. Spawn was, not King Spawn, but Spawn. Spawn was the comic book that, no it wasn't. I was going to say it was a comic book that kicked off Image. It wasn't, I'm wrong. It was Youngblood. Spawn was the second comic. And then we have issue 4 of SpiderMan 2099 Exodus, with a version of Black Widow 2099 on the cover as well. I do love this 2099 outfit. This is the original. They did change it a couple of years ago, and I didn't read it. I didn't like the changes made to the outfit. But you know, Miggy O'Hara, who's the character who is under the mask, 2099 Spider-Man is a fantastic character, and it's a character that I would really love to see given a film or in film. It really is. You know, could you imagine sort of a Blade Runner-esque future with a Spider-Man running around? I could. It'd be great. Dressed like that. Fantastic stuff. And then we have, last but certainly not least, and I did show an issue 1 of this the other day. I had a delivery, and this is an alternate cover, a variant cover, and that is the Army of Darkness versus Reanimator. As you know, Army of Darkness is the third film in the Evil Dead franchise. The Reanimator is its own horror franchise, and under Dynamite Comics, they've come together in a sort of versus comic. They have done one before, and it's like a sequel to that. Necronomicon Rising. And Arthur Sudium is the artist of the cover of this. Now, he done a lot of covers for Marvel Zombies back in the day. He's quite a renowned comic book cover artist. He's very good, very good. So yeah, I like Army of Darkness in comic form. It just works. The character of Ash in this silly world, fighting the Deadites, travelling through different eras of time and stuff like this. They've done ones where he's met up with Xena. They've actually done a Marvel Zombies and Army of Darkness crossover. Marvel and Dynamite Comics got together and gave us a crossover where Ash fights the zombie versions of the Marvel heroes. What more can you want from the Army of Darkness? Exactly. Anyway, that's it. Those were my pickups for the week. I will be back again with another video at some point, Comic Book Corner. Now, I do review comics on occasion, and I show you my pickups. So if that's for you, hit the subscribe button. Come join the channel. The channel is primarily about film and comic film, and but it touches into areas of everything else comic. I open up figures from comics and stuff like that. So hit the subscribe button, check it out, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care all, and goodbye.